Okay, yeah, more UFO stuff. I'm really going for it on this one because this is going to be a big deal the next few years. I'm going. And it is also part of something that is the old world still trying to control us. And I want to get us to that space, if you care to join, where we're thinking for ourselves and we're empowered and realizing everything has been made up, controlled, and I'm going to prove it to you today. Yeah. And maybe you're going to say, I have more important things to focus on. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. Where are my hats? All right, I've got some cool stuff coming for you guys. I'm going to bring my little puppet back out. Hacker T-Dog, if you remember that, he's the ego. He's going to make an appearance. Yes, a grown woman using a puppet on YouTube. It's going to happen. I'm going to start wearing my hats again, and I hope you'll subscribe because I have some fun things to share with you ongoing. One of them starts with Luis Elizondo, David Grush, I hope I'm pronouncing those right. I think you know who I'm talking about. Whistleblowers. Let's be real. The United States government hasn't exactly followed the rules. There are factions that think they're above the rules. And for decades now, was it 47, when we had our little crash that was covered up? Well, I just want to mention that anything that comes from the government that got snuck out and gets to the public, that person would be taking a dive off of a 10-story building, because that's what's happened in the past. And that would never make it to the public. I want to share something with you because you know there's one channel I really do love. Not all of it, some of it's a little bit a little boring, but it's very scientific based, and that is Jeffrey Mishlove. It's called New Thinking Aloud. And I really don't like to watch this disclosure stuff because if it's the government, I don't really want to watch it because they lie all the time. Why would we trust them now? And why do I need them to tell me that we have extraterrestrials here in all kinds of forms? I don't need them to tell me that. They'll make themselves known when they're ready. And what? You're going to tell me what difference is that going to make? Okay, so let's talk about Elizondo. I just saw his attorney on New Thinking Aloud. And he point blank said he was hired because he is allowed to disclose to the public these things. He's not sneaking it out. He's a whistleblower and he found these things. They are allowing it, and he is under supervision. Okay? It's all controlled because the government wants us to know. Now, by the way, I mentioned this before, and they actually discussed this whole thing. Why is that happening? And why is the public giving this so much attention? Right? Because we allow them to control us and tell us how things are when we know better. We're going into consciousness now. What does that mean? That means that we are now realizing all this stuff's made up. Everything's controlled. The media, all of it. There's no group out there that wants the best for all of us. There's egos in control, and that's the world we live in. It's just what it is. It doesn't have to be you. So we can go into community and help one another, but here's what I want to share with you. Grush, same thing. He's being told what to reveal, and they're calling themselves whistleblowers so that we're going to think that they are, looking out for our best interests. No, they're doing it. So the question on that interview was, why are they doing it? And it's what I shared with you, and it makes perfect sense because they're getting ready to do something. Because now they've developed the technology that they got back in the 40s, probably even before that, who knows, with Roswell. They have re-engineered or reverse engineered, figured out how this works, and they have the capabilities to put this stuff out in space, and it's not to control some ET that could have blown us up a long time ago. It's to control us and other countries. And we're going to pick up the tab. Trillions of dollars. This is a conspiracy, and the reason why I'm even talking about this is because you guys know I don't like to go into this stuff. It's a waste of my time, in my opinion. I'm sharing it with you because I know some of you are really into this. What are the intentions here? We're going to split, and it's already happening. It's the tipping point. You've read my book. You guys have read my book. I told you, we're in it. We're either going into the functioning as a new earth, where we have actual respect. The fact that any chemicals would be allowed on our food, in our bodies, we accept this. We accept all of this false stuff that makes people rich because they really don't care about the consequences of what they're doing. They care about the money and what they're receiving. That's just a different mentality. I'm not here to judge that, but I don't want to participate in it. We must participate in the new earth, and that means stop handing your power over, arguing about this stuff. This is all staged. It is all by design. And it doesn't matter to me one way or another, except for one thing. You start putting stuff out in that sky, and it's used in a negative way, because that's exactly what I believe is the case. Otherwise, why would you do it? If you think you're protecting us from the ETs, oh, they're so way beyond us, it isn't funny. These guys are blinking in and out of dimensions. Yeah, oh, we're going to defend ourselves. It's baloney. We already have so much junk out there, it isn't funny. So I want just to reiterate this. This is staged. It's purposeful. It's allowed. We have Congress sitting in meetings discussing it. Aren't they the government? Why don't they know this stuff? And why do we have to discuss it? And wait a minute, there's a whistleblower in the government talking to the government about what's being hidden. Well, who are the guys hiding it? And if they're hiding it and they're allowing it now, they have some intention. There's an agenda here as to why they're allowing it out now. What's that? I rest my case. Go watch the interview if you're into this stuff. Can we focus now on this amazing space? Now, thank you. I'm not going to say your name just in case, but I will be interviewing one of my subscribers who sent those orbs over. She calls them in, and she asked permission, and they wanted to be seen on my channel. And by the way, the orbs that showed up were pinkish, and that is love. So we're going to explore that. Now, I have two businesses. I teach people how to create planet-conscious businesses, doing what they love, making a positive impact on the planet. That's here. But I have another business. It's called Landria.com, and I am helping people to break through fear and create amazing lives. But we work on the mentality, our powers, and moving past blame and all the things that cause us to stay in fear. So I have asked this absolutely beautiful subscriber to join me on a podcast and create a master class to teach you how to call in orbs, what they mean, and we're going to explore it. Somebody said orbs are not ETs, and I said, how do you know that? Just because they're in a different form doesn't mean they are not. Extraterrestrial is just another being. It's just another form of a being that doesn't necessarily have to live on a planet. I'm not labeling anything. All I know, there's a beautiful light form, and it exudes love, and also high intelligence, is very aware of our thoughts. You don't even have to say anything. Now, Chris Bledsoe, my favorite abductee to talk about, he communicates with them all the time. They're very aware. And he said if there's non-believers in the room, just like when Christ was performing miracles, they affected the energy. Did you know Christ would ask non-believers to leave the room before he performed miracles? It affected the energy field. It affected the results. And so, isn't that really interesting? It's exactly, everything is energy, and it's all connected. So if somebody's thinking something, you say, well, they have a thought, how can that affect me? We're connected. We don't get around that. You and I are connected. Everything's connected. Everything counts. Your thoughts are things, and we have to open ourselves up if we want to participate in a new earth. You don't have to. You can go on the channel's conspiracy and blame and go, this is that, and it doesn't matter. What I know is that we are unlimited, and all things are possible. And that means you can create the impossible, even as a dense human being. We do have a role we're playing here. Play it well, my friend. Get out of the bed, quit taking the whatever, stuff you don't need. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just know there are some healthier ways for us to live, and we have to seek it. Somebody said, what do you mean by, get your house in order? I said, get your house in order because stuff's coming, and you want to participate in it, and it's not bad stuff. It's actually dissolving of those things we're talking about today. It's going to dissolve. We don't believe it anymore. Why do I even care what you're disclosing or not? Oh, so now you're going to share stuff with us that, you've been hiding for years? Does it matter? How's that affect me? I'm here. I know what I know. Whether you show it or not is irrelevant to me. I have to be focused on, and this is where you come in, on how we're going to create a new world. That means we have to be action takers and creators now. Creators are the big thing. We're all creators in every moment. So you're either putting your attention and energy on other people and say, what are we doing about it? What? How is war even allowed on this planet? How is it possible for people to kill somebody else and we call it war and we don't arrest everybody who does that, put them in an institution and say, hey, we got to do some little mind work here. This isn't the world we want to live in. But war somehow, they get away with it. Yet if you did that on the street, you'd go to prison. We're a little warped that way. This is changing. So if you focus on your thoughts coming out of your breakthrough fear, be okay with it. Just because something's different. We're so programmed to be afraid of anything that's different, that is unknown. And when you go past that, you will invite it in. And my friend who sent the orb pictures over, she actually sent a video. She said, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. And she said, it's a beautiful, loving feeling. And I have experienced orbs before. I know a lot of you have. People don't want to talk about it. Why? You're weird? So what? Big whoop. Why do I care about what anybody else thinks? I know what I know. And I don't need to argue it. If you believe that it's, evil or whatever, that's the world you'll live in. It's not my world. We all get to choose that world. So go check out that interview. Alonzo, an attorney, was on the interview saying, I'm representing him because he's being fed stuff to release it to the public. I'm a whistleblower. Oh. Talk to the hand. All right, so this is digitalexplorers.net. We're creating planet conscious businesses. We start with passion, purpose, positive impact, and then we figure out the profits under multiple revenue streams to help you create a business around it. It's all about you, what you love, how you want to live, having that purpose, doing great things, and we research it. I take you step by step. How do we create revenue streams from that? If you're going to earn it doing good things. People are like, we shouldn't make money doing this. Oh no, but you can go work in a factory that pollutes the planet. That's okay. We got to switch all this thinking. This is what I'm talking about. All right, do good things. Be rewarded for it. And people who receive it will be rewarded. All right, and then of course these, where if you sign up, you'll hear about it. If you want to sign up for my free video series and some webinars, I got all kinds of stuff. I'm changing the whole platform because I'm going to start to train you on how we can go into that space of tapping into our psychic abilities, our intuition, getting answers, communicating with that unseen world that's way, way intelligent. It doesn't have the density that we took on here, right? It knows what it is. And we're going to explore it because we're going to make massive changes on a high frequency. We're going to go up to that penthouse, beautiful view up there, and get out of that basement, groveling with everybody else who doesn't see the light. And we're going to shine the light so that if they choose it, then that will be something that they get to do with their free will. We are not to judge that, right? I hope you enjoyed today because we're going to continue to talk about this. Someone asked if I've ever seen a UFO. Yes, once. I kept saying, how come everybody sees this stuff and I don't? Finally, one showed up midday, no clouds. Yeah, blinked out. There was a jetliner coming. It sat there, silent, just sitting there. Looked like a top. It wasn't a saucer type. So cool. No, I didn't have missing time. I did check. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. I'm going to get my hats out, I promise. Namaste.